Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome to the first official rebuild post 2024 NFL draft. Today, we are going to be tackling the #1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, and the Chicago Bears. Duh, Bears. That's right. So now that the draft is completed, we're going to be tackling all of the top teams that had quarterbacks, like obviously the Bears, the Commanders, the Patriots, the Vikings, probably even Denver because they took Bo Nix, probably Atlanta because for some reason, to no one's knowledge, they took Michael Penix Jr. at number 8 when they signed Kirk Cousins this same offseason, like a month before, to a huge multi-year extension or multi-year contract in free agency. It was crazy that the Falcons did that. So there's going to be a lot of different teams. And then once we get through all the teams that drafted a quarterback, we'll probably just tackle maybe a couple teams that seem pretty interesting that I haven't already rebuilt so far. So that is the goal today, is to take on the Chicago Bears. The Bears are in a very, very good situation. It kind of makes me a little mad, actually, because we all know on this channel I'm a big Justin Fields guy. Not only because he went to Ohio State, but because I think he's actually pretty good. He just wasn't in a good situation in Chicago and didn't really get the chance to develop into the quarterback he needs to be, or he can be. So I'm kind of mad because Justin Fields was given nothing close to what Caleb Williams has been given to work with in his first season. Caleb Williams has got great wide receiver talent. He even got a young receiver in Rome Odunze in the same draft in the same top 10. So he's got great wide receiver talent. He's got a much better offensive line than what Justin Fields had. He's got a better than not defense. So Caleb Williams and the Bears are in a much better situation than when they were a couple of years ago with Justin Fields. And that kind of makes me mad. Like, if you're going to go all in for Caleb Williams, why couldn't you have gone in for Justin Fields? Justin Fields could be a really good quarterback. We'll see what happens in Pittsburgh, but we'll never know now in Chicago because they gave up on him too quickly and didn't give him any weapons to work with, except for maybe DJ Moore for a season, but he didn't have an offensive line that he could work with. So it's whatever. It's in the past. Today's video, we are taking on the rebuild of the Chicago Bears. I'm super excited with Caleb Williams here. I cannot wait. Let's get into the video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let me know if your team drafted a good player and you're happy with in the draft this year. So this is the situation at hand. We've got Caleb Williams at quarterback. We've got Rome Odunze at wide receiver. This Bears team is in a lot better spot, like I just mentioned in the intro. Now, I will say some things. Now, you may be wondering, Juice, if this is the 2024 season, why is Darnell Wright still hidden development? Let me explain something right off the bat so you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to question it. I am on the PC using some tattoo mods, using some player likeness mods that make the immersion factor a little bit better, that make the experience a little bit more enjoyable. So I could not use the 2024 season, like I couldn't do the start today in 2024 because I didn't want to use I know there's a start today mod, but I didn't want to I don't think it was ready yet. Maybe they were like updating or something. I didn't want to use it because I wasn't sure if it was going to work. So we're using the 2023 roster. Well, technically we're using a roster that I downloaded post-draft. It's got, I think, like the first 5 rounds of draft picks on here. So as we go and I keep checking the download screen, I'll see if the person that created this roster keeps updating it to get the 6th and 7th rounds and all that stuff to get the full complete draft. But for right now, I think it's only the first 5 rounds of draft picks. And so obviously the players have normal development, the rookies do, in this. So I went and gave Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze both star development because I wanted to be a little bit more... I didn't want to go crazy right off the bat. I do believe that when the new game comes out, Caleb Williams will have hidden development for star or superstar. He will have superstar development. I think he'll be the only quarterback that does. And Rome Odunze, I think, will have star development. But I didn't want to just go right off the bat and give Caleb Williams superstar because I didn't think that was too fair. I wanted to back it up a little bit. I think if we play really well, he's obviously going to grow naturally. But I wanted to start him off at star and not superstar, even though I do think that in the new Madden game that comes out in August, whatever they call it, 2025, whatever they call it, I do think he'll have superstar development. But this is what the team looks like. So we have the rookies from 2023 and 2024, both as rookies. And that's how it's going to be for probably most of my rebuilds that I do until the game comes out. And it can't always be perfect, okay? Until the game comes out, the new game comes out where the rookies are actually rookies. So anyway, we've got Caleb Williams here. 22 years old, rookie out of USC. He's got no swag. Where's the swag, Caleb? Where's the painted nails? 97 throw power, 85 action. Like I said, I didn't make these rosters, so if you have any problems with the ratings of the new rookies, take it up with the person that created the roster. I just downloaded it. So Caleb Williams looks pretty decent. He's obviously got a ton of potential, and I think with this offense he can really, really grow. We've got DeAndre Swift, which is a nice addition at running back. We've obviously got great wide receiver core with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze. Nice little wide receiver option out of Washington. Very good, very athletic. Gonna be a really good player for us. The offensive line needs a little bit of help, but for the most part, it is pretty good. It's very young, too. You got Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, and Darnell Wright all under, what, 26? Yeah, under 26. That's pretty crazy. 26 and under, 25 and under, I should say. That's pretty awesome. Bates and Davis are fine, but with the no development traits, it's going to hurt them a little bit. Then you got Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett. I'm actually going to start start Cole Kmet over Gerald Everett because that's the obvious option. Cole Kmet's a very good player, and he's a lot younger. And then on the defense needs a little bit more work, but we're in a good spot already. We've got Edwards and Edmonds, who are both very good players, and I've seen simulations where TJ Edwards skyrockets to an X factor if he's put in the right spot, so maybe that'll happen for us. I don't know. And then they obviously made the trade for Montez Sweat from the Commanders, so we have Montez Sweat on this defensive line. We're going to need to help the defensive line around him, but for the most part, I like what it looks like right now with Gervin Dexter and all that kind of stuff. Corner, we have Jalen Johnson, who they just extended, but I don't think we have extended him here because this is obviously last season, so I think we might have to do that in this video. And then we've got Tyreek Stevenson, who is a very good young corner as well. So we've got two nice young corners, plus Kyler Gordon's not too bad either. So I like where the cornerback spot, I like where this team is at. Jaquan Brisker, Kevin Byard is a little bit older now at this point, but so we might have to replace him at some point. But for the most part, this team is very young, very good, and has a lot of good untapped potential. So I'm super excited about that. And I don't want Keenan Allen. I just noticed Keenan Allen has max security as his X factor. He should probably have double me, or maybe even rack him up or something. And then he probably needs to have wide receiver apprentice. Probably not slot-o-matic. He probably should have mid-out elites and outside apprentice. Okay, I'm fine with those. For right now. So that is what Keenan Allen's X Factor is going to look like. I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I'm not going to use real-life draft classes. I'm not going to use the 2025 draft class for this. I'm just going to use auto-generated draft classes for these rebuilds. And, oh, by the way, I should mention, even though I feel like a lot of you guys know this by now, I don't delve into realism too often. So don't come into these videos, and don't come into any of my videos really on any of my channels, but especially on my main channel. Don't come into the videos expecting me to be ultra realistic. That's just not what I do. If you want a realistic rebuild, I'm sure Bengal's going to be putting out tons of post-draft realistic rebuilds. C4 has got realistic rebuilds. Name your Madden YouTuber. They're going to have realistic rebuilds for you. If you want to come here for something different, something where anything can happen, any player can be on any team, any trade could happen, I could get the first 2 overall picks if I wanted to, then that's what I'm here for. So if you want to turn off your brain and just watch some crazy stuff happen, this is the channel for you. So don't come in here expecting realism. If I want to trade Caleb Williams, well, this is an example. I'm not going to trade Caleb. If I want to trade Caleb Williams for Patrick Mahomes, I'll do that. I'm not going to, because this video is about Caleb Williams and the Bears, but that's just an example of what could happen in a World of Juice rebuild video, or any video. So just want to point that out there right now. Don't come in here expecting me to be super realistic. Oh, would this trade benefit both teams? I don't care. Is it going to benefit me? Then that's what I'm going to do. See, so just want to point that out. Just want to put that out there so we're all good. Okay? Good. So here we go. We're going to simulate season number 1. I didn't even take a look at the draft class. I just loaded it in and got out of there. I hope the draft class has some good players. It's got a quarterback at the top, but it's got a couple it's got one offensive lineman and then a couple defensive guys. Ooh. Ooh, it's got a receiver, a 6-foot guy out of Texas A&M, and a 6-foot corner. Okay. Tickle me intrigued. I like this. Defense is probably what we're going to need the most of. So I like that this first draft class has a couple guys at the top of the draft that are on the defense. I like that a whole lot. All right, I'm going to simulate season number 1. I'll catch you guys at the end of the year. If anything crazy happens, I'll bring you guys back in, but I doubt that's going to happen. I'm just going to go through, do my scouting, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to make any trades or anything like that. And we'll see how the Bears do. Although, do the Bears have multiple picks again next year? We should, right? Yeah, we do, because technically next year, it's a year behind, but we have the year picks. So technically we have the picks that they took Rome Odunze and Caleb Williams with, but now we get to use them in this draft. So that's useful. I'll take that. So I'm going to simulate to the end of the season. We'll see how Carolina does. We'll see how we do. And we'll get through Caleb Williams' rookie season. Hopefully he wins Rookie of the Year. After one season with Caleb Williams at the start as the starting quarterback, we already improved significantly. 6 wins as a rookie is very impressive in the NFL, especially with a Bears team that was so bad previously. To go from what they were last year to now having 6 wins, I'd say that's a big improvement. And it looks like Caleb Williams has started to show some signs. Let's see what his actual stats look like, though. He had 2,098 yards or 900 yards. Okay, 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 70% completion percentage, but he does have day 1 starter and quarterback of the future tag on his player tag, so that's really, really good. And he had that's a good rookie season. That's probably Rookie of the Year numbers. I mean, 31 touchdowns as a rookie? How do you get 31 touchdowns but only throw less than 3,000 yards? Are you just a merchant at the red zone? you have your team get up all the way with like DeAndre Swift or something, and then you just take it away from him and throw it in the end zone? I don't know what happened there, but Caleb Williams, that's Rookie of the Year numbers. I hope they give it to him. DeAndre Swift, 976 yards, 5 touchdowns. Caleb Williams also had almost 1,000 yards, well, almost 800 yards on the ground with 5 touchdowns. That's good to see. You don't really see the running back or the quarterback get a lot of rushing yards. No 1,000-yard receiver, but Rome Odunze had a decent rookie year. He's got day 1 starter now. He had 6 touchdowns for 657 yards. Love to see that. Defensively, we had, 133 tackles from Edmonds, 126 tackles from TJ Edwards, 88 from Brisker, 82 from Stevenson. Tackle for loss leader is Dexter, who's got future starter and day 1 starter with 11. Austin Booker had 11. Montez Sweat had 10. And then 3 sacks for Montez Sweat, 2.5 for Edwards, 2 for Dexter, 1.5, 1 for a couple guys. 3 interceptions for Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker and Jalen Johnson. Wow. We're turning the ball over a lot via the interception. Tyreek Stevenson had 2. And then Edmonds, Gordon, and Owens all had 1. That is what the team looks like here after 1 season with Caleb Williams. I really hope he gets Rookie of the Year. I think that number is gonna be good. But remember, because this is the way it is, we're battling with both last year's rookies and this year's rookies. So it's a big pool. It's a lot bigger of a pool than it would be normally to decide who's going to win Rookie of the Year. So it's not guaranteed, even with the season that he had, that he's going to win Rookie of the Year. But we'll hope for the best. We will hope for the best. Get to the off season. I did have to re-sign Jalen Johnson. I gave him a new contract. I think it was like a 5-year deal I gave him. And I also re-signed DeAndre Swift. So those are the 2 big names that I needed to re-sign. They're both back now. I think DeAndre Swift got a 4-year deal, and Jalen Johnson got a 5-year deal. So that is where we're sitting. Eagles and Ravens in the Super Bowl, actually, is kind of crazy. Did the Eagles get it done, or did the Ravens pick up a W? The Eagles destroy them. Wow, okay. Very interesting. So that's year 1 in the books. Let's take a look at the season recap and find out if Caleb Williams did, in fact, get Rookie of the Year. He did not. It goes to Marvin Harrison Jr. So him on the Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. must have had just a crazy season to get Rookie of the Year. Jared Verse gets Defensive Rookie of the Year. Mahomes gets MVP of the league. Nick Sirianni, Saquon Barkley, and Max Crosby are the players of the year. But Marvin Harrison Jr. is the offensive rookie of the year. I need to go to the Cardinals and see what his numbers look like if he was going to win. If he was going to win offensive rookie of the year. Marvin Harrison, what did your numbers look like? Receiving wise, 1,000 yards, but he had 16 touchdowns. Okay. So he didn't have as many yards as I would have liked for an offensive rookie of the year, especially when Caleb Williams had 31 touchdowns. But the 16 receiving touchdowns is pretty impressive. So Kyler Murray must have just been feasting with Marvin Harrison. So I'll give it to, I'll let it go. I'll let it pass. He can have the rookie of the year. It's not like the NBA 2K where you can change it. You can't override the rookie of the year. So Marvin Harrison gets it done. You know what? I'm happy. Marvin Harrison's a Buckeye. I love Marvin Harrison. So $22 million in available cap room. Gerald Everett is needing a new contract. Jonathan Owens, Rasheem Green, Dylan Cole. So there's nobody here that I want to bring back, including Gerald Everett. Especially not for $43 million. You kidding me? We got Cole Kmet, who's probably better than you already. So we're going to let all those guys walk. We'll keep the $22 million for a rainy day in case maybe a free agent's here, or just extend that over to the next season for new contracts next year. So we'll see what free agency has to offer. Amari Cooper, Stephon Gilmore, Michael Pierce. Okay, so there's a couple guys that I like. I don't know if there's going to be anybody that I actually go for. If Stephon Gilmore wanted to be here more, I would probably go for him. But considering he doesn't want to be here, I'm probably not going to do that. Running back, I'm good with. Wide receivers, Amari Cooper just doesn't want to be here, so I'm not going to go for him. And we might. There's a receiver that I'm intrigued by in the draft class, so we'll talk about that in a second. Oh, tight end we don't need. We could use a backup tight end, so I might pay somebody to be a backup. Let's go for, I don't know, let's go for this 23-year-old young tight end Gerald Wiley. I don't know why he's in free agency, but let's pay him a little contract to be a backup to Cole Kmet. And then offensive line, A.J. Jackson's here. Left guard, we do need a center and a right guard. But there could be some guys in the draft that we could go after. I'm not 100% sure. Trey Turner and Cesar Ruiz are both available. Do I want either of them? Neither of them want to be here. And you know what? I don't want either of them anyway. Defensively, we do need some defensive line help, but I just don't know if I want to pay anybody here. There's nobody that like stands out like, oh, I have to get this guy. Except for maybe Willie Gay. I'm a big Willie Gay guy. I like him a lot. I think he's very talented. So if I can snag him, I would be super happy about that. I don't want to pay him too much, but he doesn't want to be here, so I have to pay him a little bit more than I would like. But that, oh, the Panthers were seriously lowballing him. So we should come away with Willie Gay. Corner, we could actually we could add an extra fourth corner, but I don't think in free agency is going to be the way to do it. Geno Stone makes it to free agency, but he could be Geno could be our replacement for Kevin Byard. I don't have a lot of money. No, I can't do it. If I wasn't going to go after the other two guys that I'm going after, Willie Gay and Jared Wiley, then I would probably go after Willie Gay, or what's his face? Geno Stone. We got Willie Gay, we got Jared Wiley. So I like that. We'll keep the little bit of money we have left. Oh, we don't see any dev trade upgrades for Caleb Williams, for Rome Odunze, for anything like that. That's okay. I was hoping Caleb might go up to superstar, but that's fine. And then defensively, Kevin Byard does go up to X Factor. That's pretty cool. And then Willie Gay will now start at right outside linebacker over Jack Sanborn. I'm fine with that. I like that a whole lot. We just need to work on the defensive line. We need to add one more corner. And we need to get some interior offensive lineman help for Caleb Williams. So we got a clear plan of what we want to do in the draft. Let's go to the draft and actually figure out if we're going to do that. I don't even know what our draft pick looks like. I don't know. I think we're going to probably be picking in the high teens, I would guess. No, maybe low teens. Maybe like 12 or 12's not a teen. 13 or 14. That's probably where I would guess we pick. Maybe a little bit lower than that. Maybe like 11 or 12 or 10. Something around that range. But I don't know how the Panthers did. I have no idea how the Panthers did. I don't know if they were bad. I don't know if they were good. I have no idea what could have happened to the Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young. I guess we'll find out here when we take a look at the mock draft number 5. They have given us the 6th overall pick. And then our pick is at... Oh my god, where's our pick at? 23? That has to be the Panthers. There's no way that we were that good where we're picking at 23. Carolina must have had a really good season. Let's just quickly go check. How good did Carolina do this year? Carolina, they were 11-6. That is their pick. Wow. 11-6. Okay, Carolina, I see you. I see you. I mean, that sucks for us, but hey, I mean, Carolina's developing, I guess. All right, so I mentioned a couple of different players. There's a wide receiver in here that I'm super intrigued by. He is... Where'd he go? What the heck? Here he is. Okay, he must have fell. He did fall. 16th spot. He was up here in the top 4. That's why I was wondering where he went. So he's 6'5", is why I'm super intrigued by him. Cedric Forbes out of Oregon. 6'5". He's pretty average on everything in his physicals. He ran a 4.43 and a 4.3 at his combine, but he's got a short route, a spec catch, a catch in traffic, a carrying. He looks like a really good player, and he could be the guy that we take with that Carolina pick. I really like Cedric Forbes, and we know he's a true round 1 talent. George Holcomb, I don't think we're going to be in a position to grab. He doesn't look elite in anything. He's got 4.3 speed, which is nice, but I think I'll stick with Cedric Forbes. Tight end, we have our guy. Left guard, I got up to 95% on Dalton Williams. 6'3", looks pretty good athletically. Injury doesn't matter because injuries are off. He's got decent pass blocking, but he looks like he's a better run blocker. And then we got this center up to 85%. Wade Cowan, he's 6'5". He's not the greatest athlete in the world, but he looks really, really good in terms of just his normal stats. So, who do I want to focus on for this? Who do I want to focus on for this? Probably somebody on the defensive line, because we're going to need to get some of those guys. Shockingly enough, we're going to need to get some defensive linemen. Jason Barner looks pretty good. How about Ricky Peoples? Ricky Peoples from The Ohio State University. Ooh, Ricky Peoples, you might have just tickled the pickle. Del Lott, I like the name. Ooh, Del Lott's very athletic. Okay, I'm intrigued by these two guys right here. What about, I skipped over this guy, T. Ash. Is he, poor speed but elite strength? Nah, I'm not really feeling it. I like the other two guys. Ricky Peoples, Del Lott are two guys that we will focus on. And then we will also give this to probably the center to figure out exactly how good he is. So there we go. Those will be our private workouts right before the draft. Right before the draft. And I will also, should tell you, I'm going to spend the staff points to get the staff tree trading section of the player personnel all the way up as far as I can get it, because this is very crucial if you want to trade draft picks 1-for-1 swaps. So we'll get that upgraded as far as I can, and then we will go to the draft. So we have pick number 6, and we have pick number 23, right? Pick number 23, I think is what it was. So Doug Booth is probably going to go 1, then the quarterback, then Gibson, Claiborne, Middleton. Then they have us taking Dominic Mullins. I'm not really interested in taking Dominic Mullins. I don't think, at least. Ricky Peoples is right here at 17. Then they have us taking Wade Cowens at 23, which is a guy that I am interested in taking. At least right now. I don't know what his true draft grade is. But we're in an interesting spot here at number 6. Because Dominic Mullins looks like a fine player, nothing spectacular. So we could trade down from 6, pick up some extra draft picks, do whatever, and still come away with a decent guy. Maybe it's Jason Barner, maybe it's the guys, the Ricky Peoples that we scouted. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in a little bit when we simulate here to the actual draft. So let's get moving to the draft. All right, now let's figure out exactly how good those guys are. So mock draft number 5, we have officially known about Ricky Peoples is a 90%. I wish he would have got to 100%. That's okay. And Wade Cohen is around 1 talent. I think I'm going to stick at 23 and take Wade Cohen so we have our center of the future. But we don't know how good that other D-tackle is because he's a round 2 guy. So he is He's got 90% as well. Del Lott. Del Lott looks like the much better athlete than Ricky Peoples. At least initially, I think he is. Yeah, I think he's a better athlete, but I think Ricky Peoples might be better skill-wise. He might be better skill-wise. Yeah, I think Del Lott's the better athlete, pure athlete, and Ricky Peoples is the better actual, like, pure pass rusher or pure defensive tackle. 6'2", 296 is a thin D tackle. 302 is not much bigger, but it is bigger. 392 for, I didn't realize 392 for T Ash. That's crazy. Is there anybody that's like crazy heavy at a D tackle? 392 is the biggest I've seen so far. 300, 297. I'm not seeing anybody that's like over 4 bills, so 392 I think is the biggest you're gonna get from there's a 344 Jawan Pritchett, but 392 is huge for T Ash. I don't really know what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna trade down at 6. I don't think we're gonna trade up. I don't think we're gonna take the guy that they had us projected to take. I think we're gonna trade down. So the Colts have the #1 pick in the draft. They will select Doug Booth, right tackle from Washington. Then Nate Murphy goes to the Vikings. So even though they took J.J. McCarthy, who was in this series, or in this rebuild, he must not have done very... I said Siri. He must not have done very well, and they want to get their quarterback. So, sorry, J.J. Better luck next time, buddy. You suck. Giants take Easton Gibson from Alabama. Manny Claiborne goes to the Bucks. The Rams take Jose Middleton, and now we are up here at number 6. So we could stick and take Dominique Mullins. We could grab George Holcomb, but I don't think George Holcomb is much better than the guy that... I mean, he's faster, obviously, but I don't think he's much better in terms of his actual ratings than the guy that is 6'5". And that guy's 6'5", so I'm intrigued by that. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at the trade offers, and we're going to possibly select one of them and move down in the draft. The Bengals are offering me a pick this next year. The Bills are offering me... I wonder if there's going to be a pick this year and next year. Probably not. Steelers are giving me something pretty nice. Commanders are giving me something good. I mean, they're giving me a second-round pick this year and a second-round pick next year. I like that. The Ravens, I'd move back to 31, still pick up a first-round pick and a second-round pick this year. Now, the Ravens are obviously... They played in the Super Bowl this year. They're very good, so that pick has a chance of being bad like it is projected right here. But it is an extra first-round pick. Carolina's giving me their next 2 first-round picks for the next 2 years. Green Bay's giving me 2 first-round picks, but they had 25. There's a couple interesting offers here. I'm probably going to take one of them. I just don't know which one it's going to be. I like that Baltimore offer. I like the Baltimore offer. But I also like... I like the Green Bay offer for just straight up 2 first-round picks. What else did I like? I think it's just Baltimore or Green Bay. So I guess it's up to who do I think is going to be very good in the next couple of years. And probably it's going to be the Ravens are better than the Packers. But we're getting some decent stuff in this package. We're staying in the first round, which is something that we were doing for the Packers. We're staying in the first round, but we pick up a first-round pick next year. We also pick up a second-round pick this year as well, and a 3rd next year, and a 5th next year, and a 7 next year. So we get a lot of stuff for pick number 6, and there's really nobody that I want at pick number 6, so I'm going to do this trade with the Baltimore Ravens. Just give us some extra assets to work with. We stay at 23, so they do take Dominique Mullins, so I guess we'll find out if he ends up being pretty good or not. Sidney Patterson's going, Antoine Turner, Jason Barner, we took a look at him. Bryce Farrell, Tyrone McDougal. There goes Ricky Peoples. I think I'm going to take the guy just based on his physical attributes, how fast he was and stuff. I'm going to rely on him, so that's kind of where I'm thinking. There goes George Holcomb, the pick before us, so we will continue to look now. This is where we're going to take Wade Cohen, but I just want to make sure that I'm not missing out on anybody. Roosevelt Williams, He's very fast, but he doesn't look good enough to grab right here. So Wade Cowens, we get our center of the future, has a hidden development. Boom. Offensive line looking a lot better now. We just need a right guard. I guess Nate Davis could be our right guard, but we need to get one that actually has a development trait. But now at 31, I have no idea what we're going to do. I didn't really plan for this. I just kind of took the trade. Where was that wide receiver? He's 6'5". He's round 1 to 2. We have pick 6. I think he makes it to round 2, so I'm gonna let him ride here. We're gonna not grab anybody. We could grab Mike Walden, 5'11", run support safety. A pursuit, B block shed. It looks intriguing, but I don't know if he's the guy. How about Kevin Bryan? Byrne. What? How do you say that name? I don't know. He doesn't look very good athletically, but he does look pretty solid as just a pure skilled tackle. He might be our guy. Maybe we can move him inside. Although he's 6'8", 340. He probably can't play guard. But it is Madden. It doesn't really matter. What about this guy, Brian Allen? Brian Allen, Alabama safety, 4.5 speed. Looks similar to that guy at the top of the draft, Walden. Okay, very interesting. Ooh, but there's Cedric Forbes. I thought that he was a little bit further down the board. It's not that far of a gap between 31 and 6. So I'm going to take Kevin Byrne, and we'll figure out the offensive line. He does have a development trait. 2 first-round offensive linemen. It's crazy, but I did it. And we'll see what happens here in the second round. Just get to my spot as quick as possible, and that wide receiver makes it. Perfect. So we'll grab Cedric Forbes here. He could have normal development, but he looks pretty good. He's not the greatest athlete, but he ran 4.4, so he's not slow, and he does have very good skills. So he does have normal development. That's usually what happens, but he still looks very good. He's a good number 4 receiver. It's not like we're drafting a number 1 receiver. So that's a very good receiver. He's very fast. He's 6'5". I like that a lot. He can slot right behind Adunze, Keenan Allen, and DJ Moore, and I mean, I'm totally fine by that. Totally fine about that. Now we get to the 31st pick of the second round, which is again the other pick that we got from the Ravens, and we need to see if there's anybody on the table that I want. Jalen St. Clair, not good. How about interior offensive line? You've got day 3, Lawrence Blades, legendary name, but not a legendary player, I don't think. Most likely not. There is a round 3 to 4 left guard, Taylor Pearson. Very good athlete. Not the greatest skill-wise. This is round 2, pick 31. Our next pick is round 3, pick 6. If he makes it to round 3, pick 6, I'll take him. If not, it's not going to be the end of the world because he doesn't look amazing. He looks good, fine. He doesn't look amazing. Oh, and I forgot that D tackle. Darn it, the D tackle's gone. I forgot about him. Jawan Pritchett. I looked at him, but I don't think he was that good. So he's just gonna fall away. Craig Rice. 6'4", out of Tulane, elite athleticism, or elite acceleration, I should say. Doesn't look too stand out. You got a couple round 2 to 3 guys that have fallen a little bit. Maybe they're bad, maybe they're not. Marco Bonner, or Marco Boner. A zone coverage. What's his archetype? He's a field general. Okay. And then you got Alex Sanders, who is pretty good athletically, main coverage and zone coverage. Oh, I like Alex Sanders. He's going to have normal development because he fell for a reason, but I'm going to take Alexander Sanders. 88 speed, 91 excel. That's a good backup middle linebacker pick. Like I said, I knew he was going to have normal development because there was a reason he fell. The AI wouldn't have let him fall if he had hidden development, trust me. So let's go take a look at that left guard. Is he still available? He is. Taylor Pearson, welcome to the squad. Hey, we can turn him to a right guard, and we got our offense line figured out. Let's go. This was a good draft class for offensive linemen, it looks like. And then we go to the 4th round. We have 2 4th-round picks as well. This Brian Harold guy keeps falling. A lot of these wide receivers keep falling. It seems to be a very deep wide receiver class, but it's not a very good wide receiver class. Pat Sheldon. Not good. What about Brian Rosenberg? 6'2 speed rusher, 4'8 speed, pretty mid at everything. Victor Jarrett, zone coverage, free safety at Oklahoma State. Not feeling it. Not really feeling it. Emmett Harden, 6'2 speed rusher with great speed, but he's bad at everything else. Cam James. Okay, bad, but I don't really have any other options. Let me go back to the hold on. Is there any good running backs available? Who's this guy? John Thornton. No, probably not. We have DeAndre Swift. Okay, so let's go to free safety. This is the last position that I could actually need, other than maybe another corner. But I think we already missed our boat on corners. They got this guy, Darrell Logan, 6'1", out of Toledo. No. Okay, so we missed the boat on corner. That's fine. We'll get one next year. But there's 3 free safeties left. One of these guys could be the replacement for Kevin Byard. Probably not, but there's potential. So this guy's got B pursuit, but he doesn't look great. Victor Jarrett, we took a look at. He also doesn't look great. And then Cam James was the 3rd guy. Cam James doesn't look great either, but I think Victor Jarrett's the best one left, so normal development, but we'll take him. 88 speed's not bad. 90 acceleration. All right, I mean, that's a fine player. He might turn into something. Probably not, but he might turn into something. I think that's going to be the final pick that I make. We'll simulate the rest of the draft. We figured out the offensive line absolutely in this class. That was really the main goal that I had for this one. Obviously, defensive line was also a main goal, but we got the offense line figured out absolutely in this one. We got a hidden development center who's a 76 overall. Let's go. Then Byron's a 72. I don't know how to say. How do you say that name? Byron? Byron? I don't know how to say the name. I apologize. But he's a 72. That's fine. He can be whatever. 75 for Cedric Forbes is a perfect number 4 wide receiver. Perfect. I'm happy with that. Absolutely. And then you got Alexander Sanders, who's a 72. That's fine. He's a backup. And then Taylor Pearson is a 71. Okay. So Taylor Pearson can't initially start because he's not high enough overall. But he does have hidden development, so that's that. Wow. Manny Claiborne was an 84. Okay. Very interesting. Didn't realize he was going to be so good. I didn't even take a look at him, really, because I figured we weren't going to be able to get him. That's kind of cool. He's an 84 overall. And then it drops off to 79. But I like the draft. I like what we did. We improved, absolutely. Headed into year number 2, we've given Caleb Williams a lot more to work with here. I'm just going to straight up make this guy a right guard so that he's ready to go for when he hopefully grows higher than Nate Davis. So turn him into a right guard. Perfect. All right, so Forbes slots in perfectly right there as the 4 receiver. Then you got Darnell Wright. Offensive line looks really good. Cole Kmet is starting to be really good. Caleb Williams, 82. The wide receiver room looks good. Obviously, DeAndre Swift looks good. And then on the defensive line, on the defensive side of things, the defensive line is a little shaky, but the rest of the team looks really, really good. I'm liking the way the team looks. I hope that we can win more than 6 games. I guess we'll find out. I will catch you guys at the end of year number 2. Caleb Williams has arrived. 11 wins in year number 2. Oh, I'm feeling good. I am feeling good. It is skyline time. Caleb Williams didn't really throw the ball all that well, but we won games, so I guess it doesn't really matter. 2,500 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Very good season from Caleb Williams. 1,100 yards and 13 touchdowns from DeAndre Swift, and a lot more rushing yards for Caleb Williams as well. I'm liking to see that the rushing is really working for Caleb Williams. And then no receivers really stood out as like Caleb Williams' favorite target, but hey, we're doing what we need to do. We're winning football games. It doesn't matter. It looks like our defense was unbelievable this year. 122 tackles from Tremaine Edmonds, 105 for TJ Edwards, 92 for Jalen Johnson. Tackle for loss leader was Montez Sowell at 23, 15 for Billings, 14 for Sewell, 13 for Dexter, 8.5 sacks for Montez Sweat's crazy. 5 for Dexter, 3.5 for Edwards. And then the interceptions. Oh my God, 7 for Jalen Johnson. Wow, look at all these interceptions. The defense was unbelievable this year. No wonder we won 11 games. Forget about the offense. Defense wins championships, baby. 3 for Stevenson, 2 for Edmonds, Gordon, and Byard, and then 1 for Brisker. But then 7 for Jalen Johnson. Oh my good heavens, sweet Mother Mary, great balls of fire. That is craziness. We did make the playoffs. We're taking on the Green Bay Packers, who were 13-4, won the division. And the Minnesota Vikings went 13-4. Look at them. They drafted their quarterback and they went 13-4. I doubt that we win this game. I don't think we're playoff ready just yet. But you never know. I'll take a W. Oh no, that's typical Madden. You win a bunch of games, you feel good about yourself, and then the very first playoff game, you lose. Typical Madden. It sucks. So we go into the year 2 off season. I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, we just won 11 games with this young team. I think that we're pretty much right on the cusp. And the Packers actually made the Super Bowl, funny enough. I feel like we're right on the cusp of being a really good team. And they won the Super Bowl, so we now are in a division with a Super Bowl champion in the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, who's Aaron Rodgers, who? Brett Favre, who? It's Jordan Love season, baby. And he gets Super Bowl MVP. Mahomes gets back-to-back MVPs of the league. He also wins Offensive Player of the Year this year. Max Crosby, Defensive Player of the Year for the 2nd straight year. Nate Murphy, quarterback of the Vikings, who just won 13 games, gets Offensive Rookie of the Year, understandable. And then Brett Hoffman, also for the Vikings, defensive lineman, gets the Defensive Rookie of the Year. So the Vikings really had a killer draft, I guess you could say. That's pretty awesome for them. It sucks for us because they're in our division. But I feel like we had a killer draft too. Our offensive line is looking real tasty, real sexy. Love it. We have $65 million to play with. Tevin Jenkins needs an extension. Kevin Byard needs an extension. Keenan Allen needs an extension. Ooh, a couple of these guys I was not prepared for. Okay. Tevin Jenkins is definitely going to come back. So we'll give him a 4-year extension. We'll pay him $10 million, and we'll pay him like $8 million on the bonus. He's going to come back. Perfect. So $49 million. Khalil Herbert we can let walk. Keenan Allen's a weird one. I mean, we did just draft that wide receiver this past year, but that was when I had 4 receivers. Now having 3 is back to where we were. I wonder if Keenan Allen has any value. Kevin Byard, I kind of want to... I didn't mean to back out there. I kind of want to re-sign Kevin Byard, not because he's going to be part of our future, but because I don't really have any other backup plans, really. So if I give him $8 million and $7 million, hopefully he says yes, he's going to come back. So that's a little expensive for a guy of his age and his overall, but I think that in the end it'll all be fine. Okay, so does Keenan Allen have any value whatsoever? I know he's old, but he's still good, and he's still got a high overall, or he's still got a X factor. So does he have any value? Cortland Sutton and a couple picks. Lonnie Allen, a left guard, 77 overall. There's T. Ash. Delvin Goodrich, 22-year-old corner at Star Development. Whoa. Cooper Kupp, Cesar Ruiz. Wow, this corner, Delvin Goodrich, I think he was just in this draft. He's a superstar development corner with 76 overall. I don't know if I can pass that up. For an expensive old wide receiver, Delvin Goodrich, welcome to the team, big dog. Welcome to the team. And I wonder if I can grab anything else for Khalil Herbert and for Jack Sanborn, because those are the only other 2 guys that would have any value, I think. So, Jack Sanborn, anything? BJ Hill, BJ Ojolari, not too bad. Nicole Hardman, Isaiah Foskey. Ooh, Isaiah Foskey. I am looking for defensive line help. Maybe Isaiah Foskey turns into something, maybe he doesn't. I also like the BJ Ojolari pickup. It's probably either Ojolari or it's Foskey. I feel like I could trade for Foskey pretty easily if I wanted him, and I don't know if I actually want him. I'm going to trade for BJ Ojolari. That'll be my new addition. Maybe he starts. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But getting that corner is really cool. I like that a lot. I like that a whole heck of a lot. Okay, so Dunze becomes number 2. Then Forbes jumps up to number 3. So we're probably going to have to draft another receiver if I want to. And then defensively, Jalen Johnson's a superstar development player. Then you got Goodrich now as the number 4 corner. So our cornerback room looks really, really good. I just couldn't pass. You can't pass up a young player that's superstar development. And then we bring in Bijo Jalari. Maybe I can even put him on the defensive line if I need to. I never really thought about that, but I guess I could try it. We could turn him into a defense. I'll figure that out when we get through the draft. I want to know what our team looks like first before I make that decision. So with everybody else negotiation-wise, I don't want to bring these guys back, so they can all take a hike. And we can get to free agency. We have about $30 million to work with. Maybe there's going to be some defensive linemen. Maybe there's going to be some offensive linemen. I don't know. Probably not either. But we'll see. Jabril Peppers. Joe Batonio. Wyatt Teller. I mean, we could get a Band-Aid if we want, but I don't really want to spend that kind of money. Justin Reed is interesting. DeAndre Hopkins. This could be where we find our 4th receiver. Rondale Moore, Elijah Moore. Ooh, I kind of like the Elijah Moore pickup. And he really wants to be in Chicago. So I think I'm going to pay Elijah Moore a little bit of money and ask him to be our 4th receiver. Well, actually, he'd be our 3rd receiver over the young guy that we took. Left tackle, left guard. The only position we need is probably right guard, and Quinn Miners might be the best option. But that would take a lot of our money away. So let me just figure out if there's anybody else that I want to grab first. Probably not. I like the team, the way that it looks. We're good on corner now. Yeah, I think Quinn Miners is the only other guy that I want. So let's go to Quinn Miners. He kind of wants to be here. Let's pay him a little bit of money and say, welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. All right, let's see. Oh, the Vikings are also bidding on Quinn Miners, and it looks like he picked them, or he picked somebody. No, Quinn! He picked the Minnesota Vikings. How dare you? Well, he's dead to me. He is absolutely dead to me. I could offer Brandon Scherf a deal, but I don't know if he'll accept that. He might. Okay, he did accept it. So we have a Band-Aid at right guard. That could end up being our actual solution, depending on how long this rebuild takes. But for right now, we do have our Band-Aid at right guard. The offensive line looks a lot better now. Dunze is going to be our number 1 receiver, or number 2 receiver, then Elijah Moore, then Forbes. Caleb Williams is looking pretty good. Then defensively, we still need to work on the defensive line, but we're getting there. And I think this draft class has a couple defensive linemen that could be pretty good. So let me just quickly purchase all the buckets so I can have everything I need to possibly trade up if I want to go after somebody. So let's just do that. Bada bing, bada boom. Make sure all of the discounts are available. And then we'll go down the staff tree, or the coaching tree, and make sure that if I want to add somebody to the after-school tutoring, it'll be possible. I haven't done anything with the after-school tutoring just yet, the focus players, but if I want to, and I had I had extra staff points that I wasn't going to spend anyway, so might as well put them to use. Okay, so we are now on our way to the draft. I don't know how good the Ravens did. I'm assuming they did pretty good, although they weren't in the Super Bowl, so that's a promising sign. But I don't know how good they are, so we'll take a look at their draft pick. Obviously, we're going to have a higher draft because we were in the playoffs. We were a wild card team. So both of our draft picks are probably not going to be pretty good. They're probably going to be both in the 20s, I would have to say, if I had to guess. But we will find out for sure. A mock draft, number 5. Maybe the Ravens had a crumble of a season. They were really bad. Okay, they're not top 5. But Jonathan Beck is a top 5 player. Interesting. So where are we picking at? We are officially picking at number 21 and number 30. So that's obviously the Raven pick. That's obviously the Ravens pick, and this is our own pick at 21. Okay, so do I want to just go all in and get this top 5 player? Do I want to just go all in, trade with the Cardinals, and get Jonathan Beck? Is that what I want to do? He looks very good. He looks very good. That might be what I want to do. That might be what I want to do. I don't know. I haven't fully decided yet, but I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to trade with the Cardinals to get that number 1 pick. So I'll trade number 21 I could just go 1 for 1, but I might just do it straight up with the Cardinals. So, actually, trading for the first overall pick is very difficult. I don't know if I'm going to have the assets to do it. I'll trade all of my 2027 stuff, though. It probably is going to take... you know what? I'm going to go 1 for 1 for a couple of picks just to get a higher pick. Because it's probably going to take multiple first-round picks. Probably at least 3 to get the Cardinal pick. Who has number 19? There it is. Panthers have number 19. All right, so I'm going to trade up pretty high into the draft to make it a little bit easier on me so I don't have to trade like 3 first-round picks or anything because I feel like that's what it's going to be. So we'll trade from number 19. We'll trade up to number 17, whoever has that. Number 17. I'll probably try to get into the top 10. That might take the easiness, or move the easiness up a little bit. Take some of the pain away from the trade. It's still not going to be very easy because it's the number 1 overall pick. That's got the craziest value. As it should. But then we trade with number 15, which is the Browns. Alright. Browns are acquired. Now we pick at number 15, but we're not going to stop there. We are going to trade number 15 for number 13. Whoever has that. Number 13 is held by the Seahawks. All right. Give me that. Get over here. All right. Now we'll trade the Seahawks 13th pick for the number 11 pick. And then we'll trade for the number 11 pick for the number 9 pick. And then we are into the top 10. And that should be slightly easier to trade to Arizona because they're only dropping down 8 spots at that point. So we'll trade this pick for number 11. Whoever has that. It's the Jets. Thank you very much, New York Jets. Jets, Jets, Jets. And then we'll hopefully do one more. I can still go a little bit higher if I need to. But for the most part, I think this should be good. So we'll trade 11 for number 9. That's the Commanders. I thought it was the Cardinals. It's the Commanders. Cardinals have number 1. Why would I think that? So now we have number 9. Now we will give the Cardinals number 9 and our 2027 first-round pick and hope that it's good enough to get this guy. So obviously we're going to add more than just those picks, but let's go to Arizona and just ask for number 1. And that's still pretty difficult. That's still pretty difficult even with the number 9 pick. I'm probably going to try to get as high as possible. So we're going to go to number 7. If I can get top 5, that might be a little bit better. Maybe even number 2. I might have to swap number 2 to get number 1. That might be what we have to do at this point because it looks like it's going to be fairly difficult to get number 1 without giving up 3 first-round picks, and that's certainly not what I want to do. And I want to keep my own first-round pick at number 30 so I can draft somebody else. So you got to be strategic here. You got to keep your picks. So we swap 7 and 5. Now we're into the top 5. But I don't think I'm going to stop there. I think I'm going to have to go to number 2. Probably going to have to go to number 2. So we will swap 5 for 3. Whoever has number 3, I don't remember. Number 3. That is the Rams. Okay. Oh, they declined it. See, now we're getting to the difficult stuff. So they declined it. I can give you one of my many 5th-round picks that I have. And they accepted it. Okay, perfect. So we're probably going to have to do something similar like that for number 2. But now we have a top 3 pick. Although, number 3 might get the job done. I'll try it out. Number 3 overall pick to the Cardinals. They're not falling back that far. How much do you value that defensive lineman? Wow. Just trading back from 1 to 3 is crazy. It's still in the red. That's in the green. Oh, I don't know if this is going to be possible. Number 1 might just be too valuable. I'll go to number 2. Whoever has number 2. The Titans have number 2. They didn't want to accept it. But I'll give you one of my many 5th-round picks and a 6th-round pick as well. Okay. They don't like that. What about a 7th-round pick? Say yes, please. No. Okay. This is getting a little crazy. We're getting a little crazy here, but I have an extra third round pick in 2026 I can give you. They don't like that really that much. Am I not going to be able to get this first overall pick? I might not be able to. I could go up to another third rounder. I guess I could do a second rounder. I don't really want to do a second rounder, but I could to get pick number 2. Trade offer accepted. That's a very steep price for number 2, but it's only going to get even more steep with the number 1 overall pick. I don't even think it's going to be possible. I've tried this plenty of times before and it hasn't been possible, so I'm going to try one more time. Hopefully it is. If I were to just offer this, I'd have to give up number 2. My first round pick in 2026 is valued at number 1 for some reason. So it's going to take 4 first round picks plus a third and a 4 or a bunch of players. They're asking for a lot of stuff. They are asking for a lot of stuff to get this number 1 overall pick. So that's doable. I like that. What about if I give you my 2027 first rounder as well? Oh. 2 first round picks for 1. They were asking for 4 first round picks and they accept 2. Well, thank you, Arizona. I appreciate that. I'm now going to grab the number 1 player in the class. So thank you very much. And crucially, I kept my 30th pick. So now we have another first round pick this year to make some happens, some moves. We could do something crazy. So I might even use it on a receiver. Although these receivers don't look as good as last year. B.J. Bowden from Wisconsin. Not great. John McGriff. This receiver class is just not it. Not it. What about safeties? Lamont Evans from The Ohio State University. He's already an A+ in my book. But he's probably not going to be the guy that I take, even though he looks okay. He doesn't look bad. Harold Westbrook. Man, the safety class is just not it, is it? Back-to-back years with no good safeties. We don't really need a corner. We do need some more defensive linemen, though. This guy's round 1 to 2. Interesting. How about Brian Campbell? We're not going to know exactly how good he is because he's only at 50%, and this is the last time we can scout. But we know that Jonathan Beck is top 5. Looks like a stud. D'Angelo Barton's round 1. Okay, so we've got some ideas. We've got some ideas on some players. I'm probably going to use these on some more defensive linemen. Let's use this on James Moulton and then 2 defensive tackles. We'll use it on Brian Campbell and we'll use it on Justin Reed. 6'6". Wow, that's pretty tall for a D tackle. We could even turn him into a defensive lineman, like a pass rusher, edge rusher. All right, so we made our move. We now pick at number 1 in the NFL draft. And things are going to get crazy because we're going to take that player, that top pick in the draft, start drafting, pause the draft. Don't skip. Ooh, almost clicked the wrong button. Do not skip the pick. Jonathan Beck, welcome to Chicago. 6'3", elite speed. He's got 8 power moves, 8 tackling. He's a stud. Oh, he's so good. He's so good. Him pairing alongside Montez Sweat. We finally are working on the defensive line, baby. Jonathan Beck, welcome to Chicago. And now we got a long wait until we get to our next pick at pick number 30. Who are we going to grab with this one? Who are we going to grab with this one? What's the defensive line look like? So, D'Angelo Barton's still available. We've got Justin Reed is the only other D tackle available. Okay. Justin Reed at 6'6", has great speed. I'm going to take him. Hidden development at 6'6". That's a huge D tackle. But hey, that's another hidden development. We're working on that offensive or that defensive line, baby. Last year's draft was the offensive line draft. This year's draft is the defensive line draft. You love to see it. Now, is that other lineman still on the... he's gone. That's brutal. He looked decent. I was probably going to grab him to help out, but that's okay. That is all right. Joseph Pearman, he's 6'5". We could just grab the tallest defensive tackles of all time. I'm going to take this Joseph Pearman, dude. Only normal development, but he's 6'5". He's got 87 strength, 86 acceleration. We're running a 4-3 anyway, so he's going to get some playtime probably. And now we have this next pick right here. So Kai Williamson goes to Miami. He must be fast. Then you got Oscar Williams, 6'1", Georgia Tech corner, elite acceleration. Ooh, he looks pretty decent. Probably going to have normal development, but he looks the best out of the rest of these guys on the table, I think. Joe Cadet. Joe Cadet doesn't look bad. He really doesn't. He doesn't look bad at all. But I think I'm going to take Oscar Williams, add another corner to the team. Hidden development, 95 acceleration, 96 change of direction. Wow. Oscar Williams, studly. He's a studly boy. That's crazy. And now we go into the 3rd round, pick 21. John McGriff still on the table. A couple pass rushers. I don't really even know what we need at this point, except for maybe a wide receiver, but I don't think we're going to find one in this draft. I don't think we're going to find one in this draft. D'Angelo Landry looks decent athletically. He's got 8 finesse moves, but nothing else that really piques the interest. He's probably normal development because he's fallen this far. What about Gerald Basnight? What the heck kind of name is that? He doesn't look good enough to draft. Dwight Rubin. Another tight end option? Sure. Why not? Get another tight end option for Caleb Williams. Him and Cole Kmet could do some damage. You never know. And this 3rd round pick is probably going to be the last one that I make. Probably going to be the last one that I make. I might go wide receiver here just to find out if anybody's good. Another 6'5" guy, Chad Gilmore. Should we take another 6'5" receiver? Maybe this time we get lucky. James Addison's a deep threat. If he's fast, I'll take him. 4.47 speed's not fast enough. That's fast. It's not fast enough. But I don't think there's anybody else that I kind of want to take. This guy must be super bad. John McGriff. He must just be god-awful. Broderick Alexander, 5'11", 4.3 speed. That's faster than the other guy. Let's take this guy. 94 speed, 93 acceleration. He's more depth on the receiving core. I wasn't expecting him to be great. And he's from Hawaii. That's pretty cool. And I will end the draft there. Defensive line fixed. Done. We got the top player in the class. At least I hope he's the top player in the class. In that, the Beck guy. And then we got another D-tackle who's really good. Or at least I hope he's really good. Defensive line should be fixed. 77 overall for Jonathan Beck. 73 for Justin Reed. 72 for Pierman. Oscar Williams is 75. That's awesome. Rubin's a 73. Then the rest of the guys are whatever. But that is a huge, huge draft pick. So he's not the top player in the class. 79 for Bush. Emerson is 79. So is Hughes. So there's 3 79s. Then there is a guy's last name that I'm not even going to touch. Trust me. He's a 77 overall. Alfred Keyes is a 77. Then Beck's a 77. So a lot of guys. That top 5 ranking is kind of misleading because there's a lot of guys that were top 5. More than 5 were top 5 because they were all tied in overall. So it's a little bit misleading, but he's still a very good player. He's still going to fit the defensive line perfectly, and he's going to help this team hopefully make a deep run in the playoffs in year number 3. That's the goal. That's the dream. We'll see if he does that. Generate the best lineup. We now have a good offensive line. We have 3 good receivers that I trust, plus Forbes at number 4. So we're looking pretty good there. And then defensively, we add in Beck. We add in Reed. Gervin Dexter's still on the table. We've got Willie Gay. I mean, this team looks really, really good now. Team looks really, really good. We added in Goodrich. We still have Williams now. I mean, oh my God, this team is unbelievably good. This team is unbelievably good. We're certainly a playoff team. We might even be a Super Bowl champion team if everything goes our way. I'm still rocking the Bears playbooks because I wanted to give it a fair shake. If we need to adjust, I will let you guys know what I switch to. If anything, I'll switch to Kansas City. But for right now, we're still rocking Bears playbook, and it worked out. We got 11 wins last year. So if we can improve on that, even by 1 win, I'd be happy. But we'll hopefully have not as much competition in the division. Hopefully the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings all suck. Probably not, but you never know. I will catch you guys at the end of year number 3 with the results from Caleb Williams and the rest of the boys, and hopefully some good news. We finish up the season, and Caleb Williams is truly a stud. 13 wins on the season. I still have yet to change the playbook from Chicago Bear playbook, so it seems like I might not have to. As we win 13 games, we win the division, and not only win the division, we are the #1 seed in the entirety of the NFC. So we got the bye week. We now play the Cardinals in the divisional round, which we should be able to handle. Hopefully, we should be able to handle. But let's take a look at these numbers. So Caleb Williams in the Bear playbook is not throwing the football that much. But we're winning games, so I guess the defense is just unbelievable, like it was last year. 2,600 yards, 25 touchdowns, 4 interceptions for Caleb Williams, 74% completion percent. I mean, these are unbelievable numbers. These are really, really good. If his yards were up by 1,000, then I'd say these are like MVP type numbers. But these are very, very good numbers. These are numbers you can win a Super Bowl with, basically. 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns for DeAndre Swift on the ground. And then Caleb Williams, he's not even just doing it through the air. He's doing it with his legs on the ground. 862 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground is very impressive. Rome Odunze finally takes over as the leading pass catcher with 727 yards, 10 touchdowns as well. DJ Moore did fine. Cole Kmet did pretty good. And then defensively, 137 tackles from Tremaine Edmonds, no surprise there. 104 tackles from TJ Edwards. Jaquan Brisker had 78. Jalen Johnson had 66. Tackle for loss leader was Justin Reed, the rookie D tackle. Okay, 17. He's the big stud, 6'6", 315. Montez Sweat had 15. The rookie Jonathan Beck had 14. So it seems like our 2 draft picks played really well this year. I don't think either of them are going to get rookie of the year, but they did play very, very well. Gervin Dexter also had 10 tackles for loss. Sackley was Sweat with 6.5. Then Reed with 6. Then Beck with 3, along with Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. A couple guys had 1. Interception leader was all tied for 2 with Edmonds, Stevenson, Gordon, and Byard all had 2 interceptions. So the boys are just winning games. I don't know how we're doing it, but we're doing it. And I'm not going to complain about winning games. Now we play the NFC divisional round. For the first time we've made it here. Can we get a win? Yes, we can. 35-24. We have gotten a W. We play in the NFC title game in year 3? Wow. Okay. Against the Dallas Cowboys. I kind of want to jump in, and I think I might. You know what? Let's get a little crazy. Let's jump in here and try to win the NFC title against a tough Dallas Cowboy team with Caleb Williams. A playoff game in Soldier Field is not something Bears fans thought they'd see in a long time. Although maybe now with Caleb Williams on the team, they think differently. But we're taking on the Cowboys, who are notorious for choking in the playoffs. Although they're absolutely destroying us here. 21-7. At the end of the half, can we put up another touchdown? No, we put up a field goal. I'll take that. Because then we're into the red zone here. There we go. 21-18. 28-18. It's looking a little dangerous here. Down by 10 in the 4th quarter. Caleb Williams on the field. He's got not a lot of swag, but that's okay. I'm going Rome Odunze here. That's where I'm going. Rome to the sidelines. Catch Rome Odunze. That's why they drafted him, because he's a stud. He's a stallion. Beautiful. And they want me to run the football. I don't know if I want to run the football. Not in this situation, probably. Not in this situation. I don't even know how Caleb Williams is going to play. Oh, that was not the ideal situation. Reed brings me down on the sack. I was trying to get out of the pocket there, but it didn't work. It did not work. I'm going to have to scramble this way because they're bringing some pressure. I'm going to run this time, and this time I'm going to get a few extra yards to the 4. It's 3rd and goal, so we're making some big money moves, but we're not getting as far as I want to be. I don't even know who we trust with a touchdown here. Who do we trust with the ball? We trust the ball with Caleb Williams. It's the rookie. Well, not the rookie, but it's the guy we have this rebuild for. He scores the touchdown on the ground with his legs. Now the defense needs to step up. Can the defense step up, please? Can the defense step up, please? I think we did. But we have no timeouts and 1:07 to go. I don't like the look of this. 4th and 5. Our season is on the line. Fire it in. Caleb Williams, incomplete to DJ Moore. The Cowboys take over, and the Dallas Cowboys will most likely win this ball game. And they will. We will fall to the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC Championship this year. That's tough. That's a tough way to lose. I didn't really have anybody that I wanted to go to, and to be fair, that corner was playing decent coverage, so that's okay. We move on. We go to the offseason, and I think next season will be our last season. I have a feeling that we can win a Super Bowl with this team that we've put together. We just have to go through one more season, one more offseason. I think next year can be the year that we win a championship. I think we're ready to go by then. Caleb Williams is pretty talented. He's a pretty high overall. I wonder if Justin Reed won Best Defensive Lineman because he just got 2 upgrade points. We would have had to play the Kansas City Chiefs, which is not something I would have wanted to do. So it's a good thing we're not playing them. And we will go to the off-season. Very important off-season because we need to make sure that we keep this team the same. And obviously we need to get some little bit of improvements. Probably not too many improvements, but a few improvements. So the season recap, Cowboys won the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts gets MVP of the league. Isaiah Pacheco gets Offensive Player of the Year. TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year. Kerry Roth wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, quarterback for the Giants. And we did get Defensive Rookie of the Year. Justin Reed got Defensive Rookie of the Year. All right. I'll take that. I didn't think that was going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year numbers, but I'll take that. That's big dog money. That is big dog money. I wonder if he went up to a development trade because he was he normal? Or did he have star? I can't remember. I can't remember if he had normal, if he had star. I guess we can find out as we get to the re-sign period. Who's gone up? Hopefully Caleb Williams has gone up. He hasn't. That's annoying. But he's still playing pretty well regardless. Everybody's looking good on offense. And then on defense, he is a superstar. And Beck is an X Factor. The drafting god is back. Oh, I'm so good at drafting. I'm just so good at drafting. It can't be denied. But Justin Reed, I'm pretty sure, was normal, right? So he gets Superstar Dev for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Maybe he was Star Development, because I'm not seeing any upgrades, so he must have been Star Development when I drafted him. I guess I didn't realize he was. But that's awesome. That's huge for the defensive progression of the team. The rest of the team's looking really, really good. We just gotta... I don't think we really have any holes now. I think we just need to draft best player available, and we need to sign maybe some good free agent backups, or just keep our money. Who knows? DJ Moore, we got to bring him back because this team's not going to go very well if we don't bring him back. So DJ Moore is going to come back. We've got $46 million. Jaquan Brisker is going to come back as well. Luckily, both these guys really want to be here. So, boom, they're back. Darnell Wright, I'm going to accept your 5th-year option. Braxton Jones we're going to bring back because we don't really have an option at left tackle other than you. So we're going to hopefully accept that. He is going to do that. $20 million. TJ Edwards is 30. Kyler Gordon I probably want to bring back. Do we want to bring back TJ Edwards? I should probably spend the money on Kyler Gordon. So let's get Kyler Gordon a new contract. A little bit of an extension here. We'll go 5-5. Hopefully he accepts that. He does. That leaves us with $12 million. That's not going to be... Actually, it is enough to bring TJ Edwards back. Okay, I'll offer him a contract. If he doesn't accept, he doesn't accept. He does. Okay, perfect. So we bring back everybody that I want to bring back. Nate Davis doesn't matter anymore. And we brought back everybody that I needed to. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, unfortunately, we can't go into free agency now because we spent all that money. But, to be fair, we don't really need any players at different positions. We're pretty much locked up at every single position. Jordan Mailata would have been cool. That would have been our Braxton Jones replacement. But hey, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Keenan Allen is now a free agent at 34 years old, so he's not going to come back. But I don't think we need to get anybody. I think we're good. Let's just go straight to the draft. Figure out what we need to do. Best player available, probably. And don't we have multiple first-round picks? Don't we have the Ravens first-round pick? Is that the team that we have? I think it's the Ravens. Their first-round pick. Do we have 3? I don't think we have 3. I think we have 2. I guess we'll find out when we take a look at the mock draft number 5. But at that point, we're just drafting best player available. Well, I don't think we're going to trade up. I don't think we're going to do anything crazy. I think we're just going to stick where we are, wherever we get projected. And we are just going to take whoever's on the board available to us. So currently, we have picks number 29, and that's it. Did I pass my other one? Don't we have 2 first-round picks this year? No, it's only 29. I could have sworn we traded with the Ravens for this pick. Did I already use it? Wait. Did we not have this draft pick? We only have 1 first-round pick. and then nothing in 2027. Did I not use, or did I already use the pick from the Ravens? I'm confused. I don't remember. I could have sworn I made a trade for multiple first-round picks from the Ravens, but I guess not. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I misread it. Or I'm obviously misremembering what happened. I don't know. It doesn't matter, though. It's probably better that we don't have multiple first-round picks. So let's just try to find somebody that's ranked at the bottom half of the first round and scout them, and then we can probably add them to the team. So we'll scout like Deion York. We'll scout, oh, I don't know, maybe Christian Rose because he looks pretty decent. And then we'll scout Jared Noel. He's a free safety. That could be pretty useful. So those will be the 3 guys that we have our private workouts for. And if any of them are available when we pick at 29 or 28, whatever it was, then we'll draft them. But we're not in a big rush to get anybody, really. Because hopefully next season is the last season. Who was the first guy that I scouted? It was Deion York. Does Deion York look like a guy that we want to draft? He's very good athletically. Wow, Deion York looks decent. He looks pretty good, actually. Deion York looks pretty darn tasty. Christian Rose, 6'5" left tackle. Not the greatest of athletes, but he's a pretty good pass blocker, which could be useful for Caleb Williams. And then we scouted the safety, Jared Noel. He skipped the combine and his pro day. Wow. Respect. But unfortunately, that doesn't give me a lot of information about you, so I'm probably not going to take you. He might have a development trait, you never know, but I don't know if I can take a guy who didn't go to his own combine or his own pro day. So let's start drafting. Number 1 overall pick in the draft. Seattle takes quarterback. Good to know. Let's get to pick 29. Who is on das table? It's Jared Noel, Christian Rose, but not the middle linebacker. I was kind of hoping the middle linebacker looked the best out of the bunch. I was kind of hoping it'd be him. I think I'm just going to take the left tackle. He looks pretty decent, Christian Rose. He's decently athletic. He doesn't have great strength, but he looks like a good pass blocker. He is hidden development. He'll probably be like a 72, 73 overall. He's not going to be anything crazy, but that's good depth. That's good depth in the offensive line, and I traded my second-round pick probably to get that defensive lineman last year, I think. So I think I'm going to make 2 draft picks this year. I'll use my 3rd-round pick, and we'll draft maybe this wide receiver, Jeff Atkins from TCU. 4.47 speed. He looks like garbage. Mike Sanford, Virginia Tech corner, 4.42 speed. Decent, but nothing special. Jose Mann, 6'3" power rusher, elite acceleration. I don't think this draft is very deep. A 6'4" corner, Corey Coles, with good speed. I'm taking him. I don't care if he's normal development. 6'4" corner, that's awesome. That is awesome. And he's really fast. He can keep up with basically anybody. That's a huge draft pick. That is a huge draft pick. I like that a lot. And we're going to end the draft there. Let the CPU handle the rest of it. That draft was just kind of whatever. I mean, it's not like we need anybody. We have basically our starter at every single position, and we're pretty confident in each guy. So it's not like we needed to take anybody that important. I don't think that draft class is that good anyway. So 72 for Christian Rose, that's to be expected. But a 77 for Corey Coles because he's 6'4" and he's really fast. That's almost an instant starter on this team at corner. Best player in the class was a 79 overall, Forrest Bruce. Yeah, this class was just kind of buns. We even got Corey Coles, who was the tied for the 3rd best player in the class. So, I mean, we came out on top there, and we got him in the 3rd round on that. And I only took him because he was 6'4". So I say that's a W of a draft. But now all we got to do is get to the just the lineup screen, generate the best lineup possible, and get ready to go. Everybody's looking really good. Everybody's developing. Rome Odunze is going to be the number 2 wide receiver. Caleb Williams is playing up to an 88. He's an 87 now. Offensive line looks solid. Defensively, we look really, really good with the addition of our corner, who you don't even see on here because he's that good, or because our cornerback room is that good that you don't even see him on here. But the addition of Justin Reed becoming a superstar, that's amazing. The linebacking core is always good. Jonathan Beck is amazing. The safeties are great. This team's Super Bowl contender. This team, I mean, we were a Super Bowl contender last year. We can certainly be one again. Hopefully, when the next time I see you at the end of the season, we're the 1 seed again, and we're looking more confident to be the Super Bowl champions. Okay, so it didn't really go the way that I wanted it to go. We had a really good season. 13 wins is really good, but apparently some other team played a little bit better than us. We weren't the 1 seed. I'm assuming we were the 2 seed, and we were. It was the Dallas Cowboys, of course. Of course it was the Dallas Cowboys, because Madden has a chub for the Dallas Cowboys. How did we play, though? Did we at least play pretty good? I mean, Caleb's just putting up these numbers that are just... they're really good. They're nothing to sneeze at. They're nothing crazy. Like, he's not putting up 5,000 yards, but that's not what a Bears quarterback does. A Bear quarterback doesn't throw over 4,000 yards. That's just what Bears quarterbacks don't do. They don't throw over 4,000 yards. And so far, Caleb Williams doesn't throw over 3,000 yards. But we're getting wins, so I can't put it past him. 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns, and he just continues to be very, very good on the ground as well. And Roshan Johnson actually had 11 touchdowns on the ground. All right, cool. Roma Dunze led the team in receiving yards with 7 touchdowns as well. Everybody's playing pretty well. We're winning games. I can't really be mad at how everybody's playing. I wish they were playing a little bit better so we get the 1 seed, but whatever. Tremaine Edmonds leads the team again with 116 tackles. TJ Edwards, 104. Johnson had 82. So did Brisker, 81 for Stevenson. Edwards led the team in tackles for loss with 12. Justin Reed, who's just, for some reason, the greatest player of all time, and I'm happy that I drafted him because I'm a drafting god, had 11 tackles for loss. 8 for Dexter, 8 for Sweat. Then you got 7 for Reed because he's just the best. Edwards had 3.5 sacks, 3 for Edmonds, 2.5 for Sweat and Beck, 2 for Dexter. 5 interceptions. I mean, Tremaine Edmonds had a wonderful season. 5 interceptions as well. 4 for Edwards, 3 for Byard, 1 for a couple other guys. That's a really good defensive season. We've had like some of the best defensive seasons in my rebuild history. These guys, as a team, it's kind of crazy actually. But we got to get through the wild card round. We got to go the long way to get to the Super Bowl. We do beat the Commanders 35-28. So Caleb Williams defeats Jaden Daniels to move on. Now we play the divisional round. I'm a little bit worried that we might not win this, so I'm going to jump in to try to help the team. We are down in Miami for the Super Bowl. Buffalo versus Chicago. Let's get this done, baby. Let's get this done. It's a low-scoring affair. It's going back and forth, actually. This is kind of crazy. I didn't think this is how the game would go. But now Buffalo opens the scoring. Come on, Chicago. I need to get a W here. 7-7. 14-7 Buffalo leads. Please put another touchdown on the board, please. Please, 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 please. There we go. 14-14. 21-14. Just end the game. Come on. Just end the game. Don't let Buffalo come back, please. Don't let them come back. Please, just end it. No, with 39 seconds. Are you serious? We're into overtime now. Just win the game, please. Just win it. Thank you. We beat the Buffalo Bills, and the Chicago Bears are world champions for the first time since 1985. Wow. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought the Bills were going to somehow pull that out. I mean, they scored with like 39 seconds left. I thought that Buffalo was going to pull that out of their hat, but they did it. DeAndre Swift is a world champion. Caleb Williams led the team to the championship. Oh, that was a well-fought game. That was a good game. I'm super excited that we got it done, obviously, because that means we've completed the rebuild. Caleb Williams is officially a success in the draft. The Bears finally hit on their quarterback. Now, if they ever change their playbooks, maybe Caleb Williams can finally be the first quarterback to throw for over 4,000 yards in a season for them. But we do get the job done, 24-21. The rebuild is complete. Check the Bears off the list. We got the Commanders, we got the Vikings, we got the Patriots are the main teams that remain. And then we probably are going to do a Falcons one. We're probably going to do a Broncos one. So keep an eye out for those ones. But we do officially have a championship here in Chi-Town. I could not be more excited about it. It's so amazing. Absolutely wonderful. That's going to do it for the video, though. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Juice Club. Caleb Williams dominated, big baby. You did a good job, big baby. 25 years old, prime of his career. Only star development somehow, although he's probably going to go up to superstar now that he's won a Super Bowl. but he's got amazing numbers. He's fantastic. He's wonderful. He's a great player, and we got ourselves a championship. We drafted a really cool player in Forbes. He didn't really get to play much, but he's a really cool player. I like Cohen as the center. We didn't really draft a ton of people on the offense. It was more so on the defense where we got our guys, like Justin Reed, who ends up being a really, really solid player. 6'6", defensive rookie of the year, defensive tackle, superstar development. I'm a drafting god. We already know this. But then we also drafted Jonathan Beck. That's not Jonathan Beck. That's Gervin Dexter. We also drafted Jonathan Beck, who is an X Factor right out the gates. He's a Golden Domer, and he's amazing. Fantastic. We traded up to the #1 pick to get this guy, and it was well worth it because I don't know if we would have been in the same situation if we didn't have him on the team. I also drafted some very, very good corners. I got this man right here. Is it Quincy Williams? I think it's Oscar Williams. I thought that was a Q for a second. Oscar Williams we drafted. Quincy Williams is a linebacker. We had drafted Oscar Williams, who is really, really talented. Love to see him. I kind of backed up before I saw his stuff. 23 years old. Very good player. How tall is he? He's 6'1". Very fast, solid player. We also traded for that other guy, the other corner, Goodrich. We have him as well. So, I mean, I've got some studs all around the board. Very good team. Very excited about this one. Love it. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you did, leave it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Juice Club. Thank you so much. Stop by and watch. I truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.